Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
What is up? Welcome back to the Drinking Bros Sports Baseball Show. I am your host, Rob Fox, and I am joined, as always, by Dan Hollaway, gunless today, at least on the table.
I'm never gunless.
That's fair.
You can pull it out if you'd like, but let's skip it. Let's get on to the show.
Yeah, makes me feel safe, but that's fair. Let's go right to the show. We actually have now that we're kind of into the season, right?
Yeah.
We've inserted ourselves into the season. Things are actually happening, and there's kind of some weird shit happening. A lot of baseball's best teams kind of stumbling out of the gate.
Well, would you say out of the gate? Because the Dodgers started out pretty good.
True, yeah.
And then they stumbled a little bit. The Braves started out pretty shitty, but now they've been on a decent run, I guess. I mean, they're not...
I think they just got swept by the Jays.
Yeah, the Jays have been a problem for them all year. Maybe it's that season where the one team just fucking, for no apparent reason, dominates the shit out of you all year.
Yeah.
Because they've lost some weird ones. But I think it's... The Blue Jays have a very good bullpen.
And a very good lineup.
I think they actually have the best bullpen in baseball, if I'm not mistaken, statistically speaking. That's why they're winning these games, because the Braves tend to fuck around a little bit. They certainly don't have a good bullpen. They don't even have a good bullpen. They have a bad one.
We blew a late lead today.
Oh, yeah, Minter again.
Yeah.
Minter should fucking, instead of throwing 97 miles per hour, he should run that fast the fuck out of Atlanta and never come back. Jesus Christ, I can't with this guy. He's the worst.
It is, and that cropped up last year too in the playoffs, where it was like I say this all the time, a good bullpen. It's not that this year, but last year was like a good bullpen over the aggregate. Mm-hmm. But like you could I could tell even watching, like it was always a bullpen that had to hit its spots. Right, it wasn't going to blow you away, and this is the same thing, except now they don't even have the good pitchers who have to hit their spots.
Yeah.
They have the bad pitchers.
Well, they're
who
bringing
have to hit their
Green
spots.
back.
They're bringing Shane Green back, and Chris Martin's hurt.
Yeah.
Right. So Chris Martin will be back as well. But
those are the two best guys in their bullpen. But you see what fucking Homeboy's doing over in San Diego right now. They let this asshole go, and he fucking has 12 saves this year already.
Melanson's leading the fucking league in saves.
Yeah, and he's done that before, by the way. I think he's led the league once prior in saves
with the Giants.
I think it was with the Pirates.
Okay.
Yeah, like fucking.
The 1 year
2015, 16.
The 1 year they were good. Like the one.
It was the same year that fucking the Cubs won the World Series, right?
That'd be 16.
Yeah. Wasn't it that year? Because the Pirates made the playoffs that year.
I thought they made the playoffs like 14, 13,
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. But either way, the Braves suck.
Yes.
At producing bullpens. I don't remember the last time they had a really good bullpen.
The bullpen is what kept us primarily from maybe getting an extra ship in the 90s.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not having a closer that was reliable for sure did.
I think our best closer between 1991 and 1999 is either Mark Wohlers or John Rocker.
Yeah. Well, Wohlers threw the last pitch in the 95 World Series, but he had his problems, right? He blew quite a few saves.
And he went full meltdown, I think, by 97. In 97, I want to say. I remember some kid in like 7th grade be like, "What's wrong with Wohlers?" I was like, I don't know.
What's wrong with him? Well, I mean, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah. He did have a good Saturday Night Live cameo, though. Did you ever see that?
No, I can't believe they let him on, to be honest.
It was like him and it was like Chris Kattan playing a little kid that wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. And he was just a weird little kid, and all these players came in and like he was like, I want to play on a baseball team. And then they had all the baseball players come in, and they were all pieces of shit. Like some guy was dipping, some other guy was trying to fuck his mom, and Wohlers just kept calling him queer.
Well, maybe they should have done it with him as Mango instead. That would have been funny. Seeing Mango try out for a baseball team would be funny. 2015.
The Pirates made the playing game?
Well, I don't know about if they made the playoffs that year, but Melanson had 51 saves that year.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, he's not blown. He's had seasons where he's had problems, but none of them were with the Braves. In his 2 seasons with the Braves, one of which was last year, a shortened season, and it accounts for about a full season.
We picked him up at the deadline in 2019.
Yeah. So he played about a full season with the Braves, 46 appearances, 22 saves, 2 blown saves. So 22 out of 24, right? And for some reason, that's the guy you let go, and you keep everybody else. You don't sign Shane Green until a month in, and he was the other effective reliever last year. What the fuck is going on? And they bring back A.J. Minter.
And fucking Luke Jackson.
Who are the biggest turds of all time.
physically have to turn off the television when Luke Jackson goes to pitch.
I feel like it's almost like Atlanta is running its own internal entertainment organization, and those are the heels. But let me just be frank with you and drop Adopoulos or whatever the fuck your name is. Dude, we don't need that. We need people that can throw strikes, preferably. That's their big problem. They don't have guys that come in and fucking give up bombs all the time. They come in and walk 4 people in a fucking row.
Yeah.
Or a fucking dribbler hit or a line drive or whatever, but then 2 walks after that. And come on, man, every single fucking time with these assholes.
It is always like Chinese water torture.
Yeah.
Like it's never just like a bullet to the brain. It is just slow, methodical punishment over and fucking over again.
Team pitching. I'm looking for blown saves here. Who's leading the league in blown saves?
So I don't think blown saves is a good metric because that would imply we're blowing them in the 9th, right?
Yeah, it's true. Well, no, a blown save is anytime you lose a lead after in the 6th inning or on now.
Oh, okay.
And it's considered a hold if you don't, right?
Yeah.
So you get a stat for both of those.
Okay.
The Braves are currently, let's see, 6th in the league in quality starts. So despite having injuries, they're still getting pretty good starting pitching for the most part.
Well, they presumably got a quality start out of Morton today, and Inoa I think has had nothing but quality starts except for maybe like 1 game. So
yeah, he had 1 game where he gave up 4, but every other game it's 1 or 0.
Yeah,
he's doing it. He's doing it right now.
Fried had a nice start last night that got blown.
Yeah, he gave up 1 run and took the L. Well, no, he got a no decision. I think, but it was a 4-1 loss. Yeah.
But he didn't give up those. Yeah, he didn't give up 4. Yeah, it's not fucking great. And it's not, honestly, the offense isn't helping a ton.
They've been hit or miss for the Braves so far.
Yeah, like it's not like there is no consistent unit except for maybe the rotation, which is insane because that might be the most depleted unit.
It certainly is, but it's the Braves, so they've always got guys. Look, Ian Anderson's really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, Soroka came out of nowhere a year ago, or 2 years ago, rather. He's really good. Fried's really good. Everybody already knows this, so it's not a surprise to see that necessarily. It is a surprise. I know it was a surprise to me, but now that I've seen him pitch 4 or 5 games, it's not. He's an incredible athlete, and he's also a super smart fucking pitcher. Like, he has a game plan, and he executes on his game plan.
Well, the only thing that's wild about Noah is that he was not on the radar at the beginning of the season.
No.
Because the 5th guy was supposed to be either Kyle Wright or, Bryce Wilson.
Bryce Wilson, yeah. And, they just brought Wright back up, right?
No, they brought Wilson up for a start and then put him back down.
And then they brought Anderson back up after being down too, right? Didn't they bring him up this week?
I don't think Anderson went down.
They made some move last week. I don't know what it was. But anyways, the Braves are fucking, their bullpen is dog shit.
Dog shit.
And I don't know what the solution is. Maybe, and I always have a problem with this because people mortgage the future for the present a lot, especially these days in baseball. I mean, that whole, what was it, like the mid-2000s, everybody, anytime the trade deadline came around, there was so much pressure to do something. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to get rid of these guys or pick this dude up. He's having a hot season, so give him whatever you want to get him over here. I mean, it's happened a bunch of times. But the Braves have plenty of shit in their farm, so that's not going to be an issue if they want to do something like that and pick up a guy or two. But the thing that I am nervous about is they take one of these exceptional young starting pitchers and try to force them into the bullpen, because sometimes it works really well, but it's 2 very different types of pitching and mindsets and stuff like that.
I think it takes the right type of person.
Yeah.
Because you have a guy like, this is a bit of a
somebody
throwback.
with a very short memory for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And this is a bit of a throwback, but it worked perfectly fine for Adam Wainwright, right? When the Cardinals won in 06. Smoltz.
Eckersley. I mean, there's been a number of starting pitchers that have transitioned over there and done, if not as well, better.
Well,
right?
we would be pulling more of a Wainwright than a Smoltz or an Eckersley, which would be like, hey, we just need. Well, and you know what? Honestly, in 2019, in a relatively short service because we lost that bullshit DS, Fried was fine out of the bullpen, even though I thought he should have been starting.
Right.
He was good out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
So we can kind of Wainwright. It just depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, more than the stuff, more than whatever else you want to call it. Like, it really just depends on that person being able to adjust. What I'm worried about with the Braves at the deadline or any trade at this point is not necessarily mortgaging our future or whatever, is us doing what we've kind of always done over the last decade under Frank Wren and the dude who got banned from baseball forever, whose name I forget, and Anthopoulos even, is getting cute, right? Getting ticky-tack, the way you kind of like get furious at an NFL team for going for it on fourth down, but then they don't just do the obvious thing. They call like a cute play. Yeah. And it fucks you.
Yeah. Yeah, they try to they end up outsmarting themselves quite a bit. I said this is my main critique, I guess, of Snitker, and it's just because he doesn't know. I don't think he understands fucking what it feels like to be on the field as a player. You know what I mean? When he decided to go for that bullpen game in Game 5 when they were up 3-1 last year, instead of fucking putting Fried out there, your young fucking 23-year-old at the time, on short rest with the big arm, let him go out there and fucking, he's going to be all amped up, and that's a good thing for everybody. And instead of doing that, you throw a bullpen game, you lose momentum, and then you fucking lose the series, bitch.
Yeah.
It's classic Atlanta bullshit.
When you're trying to kill someone, you should probably complete the kill as quickly as possible.
Yeah, man. I mean, why give them a chance to come back? You see it in UFC all the time. Giorgio can talk more about that too, but you see it in UFC all the time where a guy fucking pops a dude and he stumbles a little bit and then he fucking starts trying to get back into his game plan. No, you got to attack. Because how many times have you seen a guy get popped, get a little wobbly, and then come back and win that fight? That should never happen, ever, under any circumstances. Right. So, that's how you see it in baseball. You get into the later innings and you have a lead like that and you end up losing it. That is not good, man. And you got to imagine it pisses off your team so badly. If I'm a starting pitcher,
it's gutting.
If like you could see it with Freddie Freeman the other day. I don't remember who it was. Came in with the bases or with runners on first and second. Guy hit a dribbler over to Freeman, and the pitcher didn't cover first. And Freddie's just like, great, now the bases are loaded. Then homeboy walks in the next round like, sweet.
Tight.
That sucks.
Tight.
If you're a position player or you're the starter, right?
I gotta assume that was not one of our starting pitchers. I didn't catch that fucking nightmare.
Let me see.
I've been watching baseball, but I've been a little checked out on the Braves lately. They've been kind of unwatchable. And another reason they're unwatchable, well, you can check on that. Marcell Ozuna off to a fucking awful start so far this year. And what little offense we did have coming from Freeman, Acuna, and randomly Austin Riley, who's OBPing about 400 this year.
Austin Riley has figured out how to hit breaking pitches to right field hard.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it was Jacob Webb, by the way, that did that.
Okay.
He's a space cadet. I feel like he's just high as shit out there all the time.
Perfect. But not in a Cody Bellinger way where it goes in his favor.
No, I mean, so Nick and Nate Diaz they could smoke a garbage bag full of weed and still fight like nothing's going on. Some people, like Ross is an example. If he even fucking smells the smoke in the air, he gets retarded.
I go full fucking idiot
But anyways, Austin Riley actually he's in the middle. Not in the middle. He's at the beginning of his breakout season now. If he stays disciplined, there's two things he's doing. One, he's learned how to hit off-speed pitches the other way, and he's laying off a lot of. He's not swinging nearly as many balls as he used to. The other thing is, young players it takes some of them, actually most of them. The ones that it doesn't take a lot of time are the true superstars, but it takes a lot of them time to figure out how to stay focused for 500 to 600 at bats a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's happened so much.
Because in a minor league season's like 300 ABs?
Yeah. Well, it's low fours probably. Okay. To go up there and take each one of them seriously and have a game plan and execute your game plan in every one of them, that's what separates mediocre from good and good from great, right? And it seems so far this season he's figured out how to take these at-bats seriously. You don't see him giving up at-bats. He's not grounding out on a weak dribbler to second base on the first pitch of an at-bat. He's taking that pitch now instead.
Right. Or what he did a lot as well, aside from have the stupid, is having like dumbass strikeouts.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's just like, what?
Like a 3 or 4 pitch strikeout where he doesn't see a good pitch the entire at-bat. That shit's not happening anymore. And I'm telling you, we talked about this the other day on the wrap-up show. The truly great baseball players the truly great hitters are the ones that take bad pitches. And sometimes a bad pitch is one that you're not prepared to hit, even though the pitch itself is good.
Yeah.
Like
a strike is not necessarily something you should swing at.
Right. Pools, fucking Trout. Some of the greatest hitters, Miguel Cabrera of all time, that are both power and fucking contact hitters and have rate stats and slugging stats at the same time. That's what they do. They go, and you talked about with Chipper the other day too. That's what they do. They go up there looking for a pitch, and they put the best swing they can on that one pitch they're looking for. And maybe they have one more guess in that, but usually in a major league game, you only get to see that one pitch in at bat. So then they're fucking playing defense, trying to get a hit or take a walk.
Yep.
And to his credit, even deeper in counts, Riley is making even a lot of the outs he's making are loud outs. He's hitting line drives the other way.
Yeah.
Like 280 to 350 or 280 to 320 foot line drives to the gap, basically.
Yeah.
Right. Where people are positioning him correctly, but he's still hitting the fuck out of the ball. I'd love to see what his average exit velocity is because I bet it's pretty high.
Yeah, I can check it right now because Fangraphs does that now.
David Wagner says Tony Gwynn would be a god today. Tony Gwynn would probably hit 35 home runs a year right now. With the focus on launch angle and his contact rate and his batting average on balls of play and stuff like that. This dude is pitchers at the end of his career. Started telling him, or the catcher would tell him what pitch was coming just to try to psych him out. You know what I mean? Because they're like, it doesn't matter what I throw this fucking guy, he's still hitting it, so I'm just going to tell him what's coming. They did that shit all the time to him.
For last week's episode, related to that, the Tony Gwynn of pitching, if you will, Affelt is not Tony Gwynn of pitching, but he said that Maddox would fucking carve people up today.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it wouldn't even be fucking fair.
Maddox is like, hey, do you want to know what's coming? Because I'll tell you, it's an 89-mile-per-hour sinker, and you're not going to hit it.
What's the thing is, hitters more focused on making contact back then or whatever the fuck, and Maddox was still getting out of that rate. It's like now that they're only focused on making, not contact, but one specific type of contact.
Yeah.
That'd be a fucking nightmare.
For them, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Nolan Ryan, the inverse of this, Nolan Ryan used to always say he liked pitching to power hitters, but he hated pitching to guys that were just trying to put the ball in play because they were pesky. They would foul off 3 or 4 pitches in a row, and it would piss him off. And then he would end up walking them, which he did a lot of that. I mean, I think he has like 3,000 walks in his career too. It wasn't just the 56 or 5,700 strikeouts. But yep.
I would say Riley's averaging 87 off the bat, but I think
that's pretty fucking high, right? I mean, so if you're averaging in the 93 to 95 mile per hour exit velocity range, you're in the top of the league typically. That's the top of the league.
Let me check. I'm checking Ohtani because his is.
Oh, his is crazy.
So I said what 89, 87?
Yeah.
Something like that. He was 89 2 years ago. He's 87 this year. Ohtani's 91, and Ohtani murders the ball. Let me check Acuna.
I would check Trout. He's usually one of the league. Actually, Trout and Josh Donaldson, but I think Donaldson's been hurt this year.
Yeah, Donaldson's been missing time.
Donaldson, that year he was with the Braves, I think it was 95 miles per hour was his average.
Trout's 92.
Yeah. So you're a couple of points off of the highest exit velocities in the league, which means he's not, like I said before, he's not swinging on fucking on a 1-0 pitch at a fucking slider low and away and hitting a dribbler ground ball to second base anymore.
His Riley's max exit velocity though is 112.
Holy shit!
Which is Ohtani's 119. But he's done stupid things, and I think Trout's was closer to that.
Trout. Nobody's gone over 119. I don't think this year.
Fuck. Sorry, it's like way down.
Yeah.
Trout's 115 this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, Riley's around there, right? And Riley's still not master swing. I think a lot of that, by the way, is what would you say before the season started? Chipper came on essentially to train Riley, who, by the way, has been excellent defensively.
He's always been good defensively.
People underrated it because he's a big boy.
Right? Yeah, but he moves pretty well. I mean, he reminds me of some other large fucking third basemen from the past that were like Troy Gloss had a pretty good glove on him.
Yeah,
he was a big dude. He was like 6'4". I don't know how much he weighed, especially at the end, because when he was
he was playing first base for the Braves.
Yeah, he couldn't fucking run 20 feet without being out of breath.
I want to say when he was on the Braves, like they were talking about, like he doesn't have knees.
No,
like they were just dead.
Yeah, he was fucked. But I mean, Riley's always been good defensively, but he's made leaps and bounds. If Chipper takes him another 10% north on pitch selection, this dude is going to be a fucking all-star.
Yeah.
Like a perennial all-star because he's got great bat speed.
As great as the exit velocity is, whatever, like I'm sure that's good. He's got good exit velocity. It's all about that OBP.
Yeah, and he's
That's what I love
taken.
to see.
I want to see that kid with an average of like 5.1, 5.2 pitches per bat. That's his sweet spot. Probably. He's probably, if I had to guess right now, he's probably somewhere in the 4.3 range, 4.3 to 4.5. At 5.1, that's where it's going to turn around for him. And to be honest, I mean, in the middle of that Braves lineup, that's if you have him and Acuna and Albies and Freddie Freeman for all those years, right? I mean, you would expect to have all those guys for 10 more years from now.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking deal to have 4 goddamn legit all-star starters on your team.
Right.
And you're in the top of your lineup for that amount of time.
For a decade.
Like, when's the last time, other than maybe the Yankees or Red Sox or Dodgers, that you saw something like that?
It'd be probably the Red Sox,
Yeah.
I would think. Unfortunately, one of those guys just left today's game with an injury. Acuna, if we want to get back to something that's been driving me fucking insane all year.
Yeah.
Acuna injures his foot or leg running to first base, trying to beat out a grounder, which good for him. Love him for doing that. Ran into the bag. How do you want to guess he ran into the bag? Did he run through the bag? No. He runs into the bag, and everyone's doing this all fucking year. It drives me insane. I'm not a good athlete, and this is like the one thing apparently I know more than professional athletes. Not running through the bag, not trying to get through the bag. They all, in the last step, they do the opposite of what a track runner does, right?
Yeah.
Which is keep going, or even they all of a sudden they snap their chest back.
Yeah, and stop their momentum, by the way.
Stop their momentum and shove their front foot out to try and get.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you have forward momentum and all of a sudden you move your body to the rear to get momentum to lunge your leg forward, or to get position rather to lunge your leg forward, you have effectively slowed yourself down. Now, this isn't a supposition about physics. This is math that John Briggis and ESPN Sports Science actually did.
Right.
They measured these motherfuckers running to first base, sliding headfirst in slows you down, right? So you only slide if the fucking dude's about to tag you and his foot's off the bag.
Right.
And lunging for the bag. And remember, close plays at first base are either a half step or like a quarter step. It's like bang, bang. That's why they call it a bang, bang play, right?
Because the ump's not even watching, listening.
Yeah, they're listening for the fucking ball to hit the mitt, and they're watching the foot on they're watching the bag, or vice versa. Depends on the umpire.
Well, they know the sound of each.
Yeah. So anything you do that slows you down in any way defeats the fucking purpose, man. But it is human instinct to do that. You got to train it out of people. And it's not only is it fucking stupid and doesn't work, it also gets people injured all the time. Like, that's how you hyperextend shit.
Yep.
So
It's not, I mean, God damn it. I will say this every fucking week. In first grade,
Yeah.
when we would try to do that, try to stick our feet out to get, and they'd be like, no, run.
Well, here's what they should do. They should go full on fucking major league, right? Every time homeboy hits the ball in the air, he has to do push-ups.
Right.
Every time one of these assholes lunges for the bag, Terry Tate, office linebacker, comes out of nowhere and just drills them. Because they're obviously not learning this shit. This is day one shit. Now, I like a lot of the new stuff that's going on in baseball. I like the young players that are talking shit to each other. I like how one of the best pitchers in baseball, Bauer, who's a white dude, and one of the best hitters in baseball, Tatis Jr., who's a Latino dude, are fucking openly talking shit to each other, and nobody's saying anything about that. Everybody's having fun about it, and it's also happens to be a very good rivalry. I like all this new stuff, but getting away from the actual physical fundamentals of baseball is fucking stupid. There's a reason all that shit exists. Now, I'm not saying don't toy around with spin rate and launch angle and all that shit, because clearly it's having an effect.
That's one thing. That's debatable.
Strategy is one thing, but the principles of the game, you're going to start hurting yourself if you do this shit. And it also doesn't, I mean, maybe if there's something that will hurt you, but there's a positive benefit to it, there's some kind of fucking, scale. Maybe I should do this, maybe I shouldn't. But in this case, this is a no-win situation
no benefit
for the player. It
and
doesn't make any fucking sense.
He hurt himself literally landing on the bag wrong.
Yeah.
Because he threw his body all out of motion.
Right at a time when he's fucking, first of all, he led off the game with a first pitch home run. His 12th, major league leading 12th home run of the season. He's on pace for like 55 home runs this year, right? Or he was anyways.
Well, so he's on, if you go a 162 game pace, he's on pace for like 80.
Yeah, but he's
missed some games.
Yeah, he's missed some games, and he will miss more games.
Now he's day to day. I just saw it before we started. He's day to day.
He'll miss the rest of this week, and they'll bring it back. I mean, they're just super careful with the guy. But why even fucking put it in that position in the first place? God damn it, this is really irritating.
Two sluggers who are doing okay this year, though. Judge and Stanton.
Yeah,
off to a nice start.
Finally, I'm not a fucking Yankees fan, but goddamn, I want to see those two guys have the best years of their career on the same team. I like that shit.
Well, and also what I like about Judge and Stanton is not only are they fun to watch, but it's cool when a player is on brand for the team.
Yeah.
And big giant sluggers are that's Yankees shit, right? Like just big fucking Frankenstein monsters who hit the ball 500 feet.
And it's also two relatively quiet dudes that have done pretty well in the New York media market.
Yeah.
Like you think of a guy going to the New York media market, and I'm like, oh man, is he going to be able to handle that? Or because it's
withering.
It's brutal up there sometimes. These guys seem to have had no trouble, even though they've had persistent injuries and all kinds of other bullshit, upsets in the playoffs. They've done pretty well. So I like both of these dudes. I like watching them play. I'm glad they're having a good year. It would be fucking crazy to see all of these motherfuckers on the field at the same time with no injuries in the season, just to see what might happen offensively. Their pitching staff still sucks, but to see Voit healthy a whole year, with LeMahieu healthy a whole year, and then Torres and Judge and Stanton all healthy.
Urshela is really good as well at third base.
Urshela's actually, he might be he might end up being one of the best players the Yankees have had in a very long time.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Voigt's finally back.
Yeah, and Gary Sanchez, if he would have a fucking normal year at some point, he's just such an up and down player.
And catchers lately on the Yankees have been getting kind of washed.
Yeah,
like real quick.
I think they should have moved him out of that position
because he was setting the world on fire a couple of years ago. Like, how the fuck's this guy catching?
Yeah, I'd rather have as soon as he started hitting like that, I would have made him a first baseman or DH or something else.
Yeah,
right. Stanton can play good enough left field, and you can put Clint Frazier on the bench to have Sanchez in your lineup.
It's actually surprising to me that Stanton is their primary DH, I think, right now, because like he's not bad defensively.
No, he's probably better than Aaron Judge, to be honest.
Yeah, like they're both pretty good. Like, and they both kind of just like suck up ground with their fucking giant bodies. Yeah, right. Like they just have a huge stride.
Yeah. Yeah, they. I mean, I would like to see the data on that, but I bet they do. They're not. Neither one of them is setting the world on fire with speed, but as soon as they get moving.
Yeah. You remember that? I want to say it was against Houston. That home run that Judge robbed without jumping.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. What is he, like 6'7" or something?
Yeah, he's fucking huge. Yeah. Like it's stupid.
He's a giant human.
But yeah, their lineup is they're getting a Judge of Stanton, a little bit out of Urshela. Urshela's having a good year. Luke Voigt's back. The rest of it's been pretty dog shit so far, though. They have a great bullpen. Essentially, the bullpen and the fact that Judge and Stanton are doing work is kind of keeping them going right now.
Yeah.
The rotation, the only two things I think they're going to do at the deadline, if they keep playing relatively this way, they're only at a plus 16 run differential, is essentially just go bananas on the bullpen or take an arm from somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them going after Savale from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland can't handle or can't hang on to any of their fucking pitchers.
Who's the dude in Cincinnati we were talking about at the beginning of the year? I forget. Savale's been okay, but not like fantastic.
He's got a 1.04 whip. That's why I like him for New York.
Yeah.
You got to keep people off the bases there. Like, he's won a lot of games, but it's mostly because he's getting a lot of run support. But his whip is super low. He's
not. The one concern I have with him, if they want to go wild in the playoffs, is he's just not a strikeout guy.
No, and being in Yankee Stadium, that's always going to be a problem.
You don't want to. I read an interesting thing. So last year on fly balls in play, players got on base 85% of the time. That includes home runs. And that's because of the juice ball or whatever.
Yeah.
This year, even with the dead ass ball, that's like depressed offense. If you hit the ball in the air, you're still getting on base 65% of the time.
That seems really high.
Fucking right.
We'll see. I mean, there's another guy. He just threw a no-hitter. John Means from Baltimore. I can't imagine he's going to be there at the end of the year, right?
Depends on where they are in their rebuild.
They're not close to being rebuilt. The fucking Orioles suck. They're the worst team in baseball, right?
Yeah, they're dog shit. Well, the Tigers are pretty fucking bad, too.
Yeah, that's true. But John Means is not just a no-hitter. Now, he's
one of the league leaders in ERA.
Yeah, he's got a fucking 1.2 ERA. His whip is .71. 53 Ks in 52 innings. Only walked 10 people. He's in the middle of a great season. Now, this might be the only one he ever has, right? So if you're the Yankees, because this happens sometimes. The guy before this, 2019, he had a fucking 3.60 ERA, that's pretty good. On the fucking Baltimore Orioles, that's not bad at all.
Well,
because you're not getting a lot of defensive help out there.
You're not getting a lot of any help out there.
No.
I can't imagine like it's mentally good for you either. If you care about wins, to go out there and be like, I'm not getting a win, and this is going to cost me money in the long term.
Yeah, and then last year, which is, whatever, 4.53 ERA. But even last year with a 4.53 ERA and a .98 whip. Now, how's that fucking work? That just means he gave up more home runs than you should expect, and he will regress back. That number will regress to the mean at some point.
Should be noted also last year, only played the Easts.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. He's played the same teams over and over again.
Yeah, so you get they get a lot more looks.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, but I forget about the rate numbers and look at that whip. If you have a .98 whip and your ERA is 4.53, one, you're getting really bad defense, right? People aren't getting to balls that are hit and play as much, but also you're giving up a lot of home runs, and that shit usually doesn't stay consistent.
Let me look at, so there's a FIP. You know what FIP is? Mm-mm. It's essentially what your ERA kind of should be.
Oh, yeah, if with a appropriate defense?
Yeah. God, actually, it should have been worse last year, apparently. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a better one. His expected ERA, according to Fangraphs last year, should have been 3.02. So he should have been a 3.02 ERA.
Good Lord, man. So he lost fucking 1.5.
Yeah. A run and a half.
That's how bad Baltimore's defense sucks. Yeah. So, yeah, why hold on to a starting pitcher if you're costing him 1.5 points on his ERA? Fuck that. I mean, just trade him for draft picks at that point.
By the way, the difference between that, the other way, is a Cy Young.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, if he had a great defense and his ERA was supposed to be 1.3, he would have a 1.0 or 3 ERA. He would have a 1.5 ERA, which is what he has right now. By the way, 1.2.
Right.
And his whip has steadily been low. Even in that year, in 2019, 3.60 ERA, he only won 12 games and lost 11 because, Baltimore. He's 1.14 whip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his K per walk rates have gone up and stayed consistent. I mean, this guy's a legit pitcher. I definitely would be shocked if he ends up on the Baltimore's roster at the end of the year. It'd be a huge mistake for some team to not pick this dude up because he's legit. And he's probably going to be legit for the next 3 or 4 years, to be honest.
Well, also...
he reminds me a lot of Cliff Lee. I think he's going to be one of those guys that has rocky start, rocky finish, but like peak years are fucking legit. Somebody's got to snap this guy
And
up.
Actually, to your point, he probably won't be because he's also 28.
Yeah, so this is his, 4th year in the bigs?
Yeah.
So he's probably coming up on his last arbitration after this season. Baltimore is not going to be able to afford him because his arbitration this year, if he maintains these stats this year or anywhere even close, his arbitration numbers are going to be like 14, 15 million a year.
Right.
Based on those numbers. There's no way they can afford that shit.
The other thing, too, is the Orioles are like 4 years away.
Yeah, at least.
So you don't need 32-year-old John Means on your team.
No, why would you? I mean, you can... To be honest, you let him go now, let him make some money, and maybe when you get good, you can get him back over there if he's still legit.
Right.
That's kind of what you're looking for. That's what the Braves did with Charlie Morton. I mean, they let him go and fucking...
A million years ago,
He had success and then came back, and this happened a lot in baseball. I like this guy. I'm just saying the Yankees, if they pick that dude up with the bullpen they have, I mean, that helps. It helps, but I think they need 2. That's their problem. I don't know if you can get 2.
Kluber has been okay.
He's been good.
He's got a 3 ERA, 3.06 ERA.
Yeah.
He's not, I want to say, if I remember correctly, not striking a ton of dudes out, but, whatever. Like, he's pitched fine.
His whip is 1.4, though. I mean, that's high.
Yeah. That's not.
Especially for the playoffs. If he doesn't get that shit down as the year goes on, then he's a problem. But, I mean, for example, Garrett Cole's whip is .68, so...
that's Garrett.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you had Garrett Cole at .68 whip, and then you had your number 2 starter at .71, which is what he's at right now, Johnny Means.
Yeah.
You can win. You can absolutely win playoff series with two guys like that, and then somebody as good as Corey Kluber.
Well, and also with a bullpen that you feel comfortable bringing in the fourth inning.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's fucking
sure,
fine.
yeah.
But I mean, the Yankees though are at least like they're in second. They're over 500. Their run differential still sucks, but they're, and nobody, even the Braves, the Dodgers, who are in third right now, behind the surprising Giants, at least so far. Buster Posey, by the way, having a bit of a career resurgence. 8 home runs already, fucking going bananas. Is he a Hall of Famer to you?
Buster Posey.
Yeah.
I mean,
just real quick, you don't need to get super into it.
No, because there's been no. Is Bernie Williams a Hall of Famer, or Paul O'Neill?
Bernie Williams didn't win an MVP.
He didn't. That's true, but he did perform very well in the playoffs, and I would say most of Buster's fucking fame is from playoff success because he's had some really, really bad years and a lot of injured years as well.
I mean,
on the field.
In 20.
His numbers are about like Gary Carter's, but he hit about 40 points higher than Gary Carter career. I think Gary Carter was like a 268 hitter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Posey right now 54 wins above replacement. Affelt said the best framer he's ever seen.
Right, but that's. I mean, I don't know how you quantify that, but I mean, look, he's had a lot of great seasons. So it depends on how the Hall of Fame committee votes on catchers. Who was the last catcher that got in?
I don't remember, but everyone right now at this point, the consensus is that Molina is a surefire Hall of Famer, and if Molina is, I don't know how you keep Posey out.
Well, Molina stayed healthy his whole career.
I mean, Posey. Look at here. I'll just read down the games here. 2010 played 108, so that's part catcher, part injury, right?
Right.
2011 45, that's a legit injury. Then you got 148, 148, 147, 150, 146, 140. Okay, those are all normal catcher years, and he's playing some first base too. Then 105, fine. That's an injury. A little bit of catcher, a little bit of injury. 114, same situation. And then he skipped last year. He didn't play last year because they adopted kids, and he was.
But 2017, he played 99 games at catcher. 2018, 88. Skipped last year, right? This year, he's actually only played catcher, interestingly enough. I think he's on pace for about 145 games right now, which he won't sustain that because that'd be stupid of them to do that. But, I mean, the guys that I think of as Hall of Fame catchers, right? Like Pudge, if he ever makes it. I don't know if he will, right?
He's in.
Is he in?
Yeah,
okay.
he's in.
They didn't give him any shit about steroids because he was definitely on steroids.
No, he was just too good of a catcher to.
Yeah, so people like Pudge, even fucking Mike Piazza still spent most of his time behind the plate as he was hitting dingers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those guys, I think of them as catcher first, and I don't know if I necessarily. I guess Posey is a catcher first guy, but it's 2/3 of the time and not 100%. I'm playing devil's advocate because I don't know how the Hall of Fame weighs these things.
Right.
I mean, but Gary Carter again is a fucking Hall of Famer, so if his numbers are pretty much commensurate with that, and look, I guess and you have to go to the difficulty of position too. Yeah, it's the rarity of somebody to put up numbers like that at that position. Right. So I mean, he probably is. Yeah, I guess.
Why not? Speaking of someone that we hope has a Hall of Fame career, Tatis Jr. out again
with COVID this time, though.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to end up after this stint on the DL. I think he will have missed like 43% of the games this year so far.
It's something crazy.
He hasn't played a full season in a row yet, and that should be that should be concerning for somebody that just gave him a 13-year contract.
Yeah,
but I mean, look, it's also been a lot of weird shit. It's not like he's had to get Tommy John surgery or fucking had to get knee reconstruction or anything. It's just tic-tac bullshit all the time.
Well, it kind of reminds me, I guess you could say, to be devil's avocado, like you said, Freddie Freeman had some injury issues, but it was always like he gets hit on the hand by a pitch or some bullshit like that. And that's to an extent what Tatis is. Obviously, COVID is freaky shit.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't, according to the Padres anyway, he wasn't doing like Dwayne Haskins shit. Right, like he wasn't at a strip club, like up in like.
Well, he's in San Diego. There's nothing open to do there, probably.
Isn't there? San Diego not a party city?
Not. It's in California, my man.
Oh, that's fair. I forgot what the code.
But I don't know what else is going on there. But It's not just him. There's a number of players. I think Will Myers is out.
Will Myers out
Hosmer.
testing positive. Hosmer, Profar, and Jorge Mateo are out from contact tracing. So
That's stupid.
they're missing a lot of dudes right now. You would think, by the way, you have immediate tests, so I don't understand what the contact tracing benching is for.
Yeah, I don't either. It's because this is all made up bullshit. The Padres.
Say what you want, dude. I'm getting my free Shake Shack fries.
Yeah, right. That's the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life, I think. But yeah, I don't know what's their record without him on the field right now, without Tatis Jr. I mean, they're still pretty competitive without him. Obviously, it's never good to have your best player out, but
Yeah, especially when he's going banana. I mean, 20. I think I wrote in there 23 games, 9 home runs, 7 stolen bases. I mean, you project that out over.
yeah.
I mean, it's fucking stupid. In the 15 games he was on the IL, this is prior to COVID. Or no, this is actually right now. Right? Oh, sorry, this is from last year. In the 15 games he was on the IL, what is it? Tatis' spot in the lineup went 10 for 57 last year.
Oof.
Or in 2019 without him on there. It's not good. Like, you
Right.
need him out there. It's fucking.
Yeah, who is their backup shortstop? Did they move? Oh, they used that Kim dude. That's right. Didn't he come from fucking Pittsburgh or some shit before?
Yeah, and he actually.
Oh no, he's a rookie.
He this year he's done okay actually with Tatis out. Now, granted, part of that, and probably why he won't do as well this time, since he's playing for him, part of that is he's protected by a lot of smart professional hitters. But no Will Myers, no Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough 10 days or however long. I mean, I don't know how long is it. There's a special COVID IL, so it's not the same.
I think it's 7.
Is it?
For
yeah,
COVID,
so
yeah.
It'll be a rough week, but they'll be fine. I mean, they're getting pretty decent pitching too from Darvish, Snell, and Musgrove. So Padres are exciting this year. Lanson's leading the league in saves.
Yeah. They're pitching. They are somebody who is not going to need to make a pitching move unless they just want to knife in the throat of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if they were able to pick up Means from Baltimore for something or other, that would be
That's a fucking nightmare of a
yeah,
team.
that'd be rough. I mean, you don't really see teams that have 4 legit 1-2 starters on one team in the playoffs anymore. It just doesn't exist.
Darvish has been fantastic this year. Snell is Snell. They still don't have. I always forget his name, from the dude from the Indians.
Musgrove.
Yeah, Musgrove.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fucking. That's a dirty team. And if the Dodgers don't get healthy, or something that Affelt brought up on last week's episode that I thought was interesting, that I kind of knew but didn't think about or whatever. He's like, yeah, man, Clayton finally had a good playoff last year. But here's the thing, man. He was game wise, he wasn't pitching in the playoffs. He was pitching in July.
Yeah.
He was only on his 40th game.
Yeah.
Something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, so maybe that's the thing, right? But I mean, if that's the premise, the Dodgers damn sure better be fucking faking some injuries for him this year.
Right.
Letting him take some time off.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to be at this point in his career, maybe he's looking at the total stats. He might be the last guy to enter Major League Baseball that has a legit shot at 300 wins.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he has a legit shot at it, but what is he at, 140 or 160 now or something?
He's over 200, I think.
Or I'm sorry, yeah. No, he's not over 200.
Kershaw?
Yeah, I don't think so.
If he's not over 200, he has no fucking shot.
I thought he was at
He's 180.
Yeah, 180. That's it. Yeah,
He's got no shot at 300.
120 wins, and what is he? 33. He'll be 34.
Yeah,
he's 33. This is his 33.
He has no shot at 300.
So
wins.
he's probably got 5 years left. He would have to win fucking 25 games a year, basically.
Yeah, he's not winning 300 games.
No, he was the last guy that entered the league that did have a shot, and I would say Verlander's probably the only guy that actually has a shot. If he comes back and is healthy for 3 or 4 more years.
That's it. If DeGrom didn't play for the Mets.
Yeah, well, I mean, still, we don't know what his long game is going to look like. But yeah, that is interesting. We'll see what happens over there.
God damn, dude. I mean, Kershaw's only got 3 more wins than Scherzer.
Yeah.
And it feels like they've really been pitching for the same amount of time, but Kershaw has been good a lot longer than Scherzer has. Scherzer took 4 years in the league to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Scherzer is actually he's 3 years older, right?
Yeah.
So he got started
No,
later.
he's 3.5 years older.
Yeah, so he's got no shot either. But I mean, look, they'll both get up to 200, which I think will be the new.
They're both Hall of Famers. It's fine. Like,
Probably.
It's not,
well, he's Scherzer's won multiple fucking Cy Youngs now, right?
yeah. So is Kershaw.
Yeah,
Scherzer has
so-
3. Kershaw also has an MVP.
Yeah. So
they're in. It's
and-
not. That's not. And they'll both get 3,000 strikeouts.
And Verlander as well is a definite Hall of Famer. I'm trying to think of the other older pitchers that are around right now that might be
Greinke. He'll be a Hall of Famer.
probably, yeah, probably. Although he's up and down this year so far.
Yeah.
But that's
He's
kinda
older
how
than
he-
both of them.
Yeah, he's 37. I think he'll
Yep.
be 38 this year. Let's see. What do we got next?
Got some sponsors. A little Killcliff.
Yeah, I just drank some. They have the Ignite flavor, or I'm sorry, Ignite has the Joe Rogan Flaming Joe flavor now. It's pineapple jalapeno. Very good. 0 sugar. 100 and how many grams of caffeine? I think it's 150 milligrams of clean caffeine, or 180, something like that. Yeah, this stuff is great.
It is. I got back here. I was on my baby moon this weekend, and I got back here on Monday. Our flight landed at like 12:30 a.m. Sunday night, and had a couple beers on Sunday at the airport just because I hate airports. Fucking suck. And I'd been drinking a shit ton all weekend, while my wife did not. And I had to kill. Like, that is the only energy drink I've ever had that makes me feel good.
Well, it's got magnesium and B vitamins and all kinds of shit
Yeah.
in there. I mean, it's not.
It's not a Red Bull.
No, it's not like it doesn't taste like wet car keys.
No.
It's got a lot of potassium in it. You know, it's stuff that's actually good for you. Now, keep in mind, this stuff was developed by Navy SEALs, and it was originally developed to be workout supplements, right? They just figured, like, shit, this is so good. Everybody's drinking energy drinks now. Let's just fucking make this an actual energy drink. But it was originally designed for people that eat and drink clean all the time. So this is one of those ones you can pick up in the store or buy from killcliff.com using the code DrinkItBros and not have to worry about it having 30 or 40 grams of fucking sugar in it, which is disgusting, by the way.
That's actually a cool story. I didn't realize that. Very similar to the Gatorade story.
Yeah, except for there were no college professors involved, only Navy SEALs, so they were a lot less worried about books and more worried about their haircuts and writing books, I guess.
Yeah. Are they good book writers?
Navy SEALs aren't necessarily good book writers, just prolific ones.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I've been reading a lot of stuff lately that says the best writers are the ones who just write the most.
Well, shit. If that's the case, then Navy SEALs definitely are leading the league in writing books. So, yeah, no, this stuff it's really good. And they put a lot of thought and effort into all their products. We're going to start working on a Drink It Bros flavor with them soon.
I can't get enough of it to the point where when we're in between shipments, I just get like Tyrone Bigham's like scratching my neck. Like,
Well,
fuck,
yeah.
man, I need some.
Luckily, they sent us like a fucking pallet of this bullshit of all sorts of different stuff, including the CBD drink, which we all love. If you've had the Flaming Joe and CBD, it tastes. This is the energy drink version. It tastes exactly the same. So if you like that flavor, you're definitely gonna enjoy this. You can find it in HEBs if you're here in Texas. I don't know if they have the Flaming Joe Ignite.
They have a lot of good flavors though. Like, it's I mean, it's not like that's our one favorite flavor.
No, I think they have all the flavors except for Flaming Joe in the stores right now, and these will be in the stores pretty soon. But for now, you can buy it on the interwebs at killcliff.com. Use the promo code Drinking Bros.
Drinking Bros. If you're drinking bros, they will come.
You know what's not whispering is the city of Oakland.
Nor the MLB.
Yeah, it's been going on for a fucking decade now.
And you were. I'm actually very excited to hear about this from you because you were an Oakland resident for a while.
Yeah, for about 7 years. I mean, I lived there. So when I would live there, they were trying to move. Now, when I originally moved there, it was before the Warriors were good.
Right.
And I had stopped.
They were interesting though.
They were interesting.
They had their pieces at that point.
They were a bubble team, but they weren't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I moved there in 2012, I think.
Right.
So
They had Steph.
technically, and then I think they drafted Clay and Draymond in the following years.
And they had David Lee when David Lee was still good.
Yeah, and he was a big part of that first championship. But they didn't have Iguodala yet. Draymond Green had not figured out who he was as a basketball player yet.
Right.
But anyways, back then nobody was really talking about moving the Warriors because they hadn't won a championship in like 35 years, right? So
and they were mostly the dog shit of the league.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe the most fun first round NBA series I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, I mean they did overproduce in the playoffs a couple of times actually.
That Baron Davis takedown of the #1 Dirk Nowitzki Mavs.
Yeah, pretty funny to be honest.
That was hysterical.
I'll say also Monte Ellis on that team.
Yeah,
Was fun.
Monte Ellis was a good time.
Yeah, they were fun, but they weren't good enough where anybody really gave a shit about anything. And it was fine for them to be in a shitty small market like that. And as soon as they had a run of 3 or 4 years of good games, they went out and bought that fucking new arena in San Francisco and blah, 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 right? Now, the A's, conversely, have been good regular season team for 20 years now, more or less. They have a down year here and there, but for the most part, they make the playoffs every goddamn year.
Also, it should be noted, 3 championships in the city of Oakland for the A's.
72, 3, and 89, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People forget this. The third most prolific championship team in Major League Baseball is the Oakland A's.
Yeah, which is weird because the Yankees have 27.
Right. It goes the Yankees, Cardinals,
Cardinals, yeah.
A's.
Yeah. And then the Dodgers have 2, right? I think in LA.
in LA,
They have
yes.
88 and
yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, just in terms of overall, it goes
Yeah.
it goes Yankees, Cardinals, A's.
How many in Philly?
Most of them, because they have like 9. No, they have 8, I think, and 5 of them were in Philly. None of them were in Kansas City. I can tell you that.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, they weren't. Were they even part? Oh, they won 70. They won 74 as well.
Oh, so they got 4 in Oakland.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there you go.
So 4 and 4, I guess.
Yeah. At any rate, so Oakland has been good. They had some down years in the late 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
After McGuire left and after that team kind of broke up, but they were pretty good in the late 80s and early 90s. They were great in the early 70s. They won multiple championships. And they have been consistently good regular season team at least for 20 years, right? More or less. Well, yeah, about
On and
20
off.
years.
Like never.
They've had like 3 bad seasons, I
Yeah.
think.
No, I mean, and even when they don't make the playoffs, a lot of times, more often than not, they're on the bubble for a while.
Yeah.
Like you can watch them in July and be hopeful.
And
type of thing.
they're making a big run at the end of the year, whether they make it
Right.
all the way or not. And the reason I bring all that up is because this is still a small market team, but it has been very good for a very long time. And this is not a new conversation. They've been trying to move this team forever. Well, they actually the ownership of the Oakland A's have made all kinds of deals to try to stay there to their detriment. Keep staying in that old shitty stadium.
Yeah.
They tried to make an offer on the land at Jack London Square, and the city wouldn't give it to them, right? Now, they wanted to pay half of its value, and for a political base like Oakland, you're not going to talk them into spending money. I mean, it's the same thing that happened in Seattle. It's why the fucking Supersonics left.
Right.
You're not going to convince a bunch of liberal people to spend money. And to be fair, they're right. You shouldn't do that because so who was it that fucking did the study? I don't know if it was Nate Silver or somebody else, but somebody did a study on the economic value of building a new sports stadium and subsidizing it, and you never make your money back ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close. You don't even get, I think you get like 60% return or something like that.
Yeah.
So probably don't do it, but it is unfortunate. Now Major League Baseball has had enough. They want the team out of Oakland, and I don't blame them.
Well,
I mean, it is a business after all.
The other part of that, though, is that Oakland is always typically near the bottom of attendance, right?
Yeah.
They don't have good attendance. And you can
No.
blame part of that on the stadium, but there are fan bases who would not be deterred by a shitty stadium.
No, some people don't care. They just want to see the team, right?
Right.
And I'm not. It's not like they're doing a whole lot to market the team in Oakland, right? There's look in the city of Oakland proper. I think there's 450,000 people, 500,000 people.
But fuck city proper shit. It's all about Metro.
The Metro is like probably $4.5 million plus Sacramento or very frequently people over there because that's where the AAA team is. Are big fans of the A's everywhere south until you get to like
and presumably
LA country.
Sacramento is within the TV market.
Yeah, I would expect so. But you know the Giants are there too.
The Giants have rights over San Jose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
even though they don't exercise the rights, so that was another thing. Oakland, the A's tried to move to San Jose, and the Giants would not relinquish their TV rights there, so they couldn't do that. So the team has tried. Now they've tried by begging the city for free money. And look, if you're the owner of the A's and you can't afford to build the new stadium, sell them because you don't deserve to have the team, dude. It's not a fucking. This is a business,
Right.
So get the fuck out of the way and let these guys do stuff.
And by the way, the Oakland A's are in Oakland, California,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
all right. So think about that. Just the city, twice the size of what I'm about to mention, and all this shit. The Kansas City Royals just sold for $1 billion.
Yeah.
$1 billion. That is a like 6th tier American sports franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand why the A's aren't already in Vegas. They should have been there years ago.
Is Vegas your number? So
That's where I want them to go.
you want them to go to? Why do you want them to go to Vegas?
Because Vegas is dope as fuck, man. And it'll sell out every fucking game. Have you ever been to a live sports event in Vegas? Because I've been to probably 25 Golden Knights games, including Stanley Cup games. And it is the loudest shit I've ever heard in my life. People are there. Not only do you get a great home crowd, so 83% of all the first-year season tickets for the Vegas Golden Knights sold were Clark County residents. They
Right.
did that on purpose. There's a huge home crowd, but there's also about 1/3 of the audience every single night that's from whatever town that team is from. Because people
just wanna
travel to
travel,
Vegas
right.
to do shit, right? That's just how it works. For conventions or for fun or whatever it is a great fucking sports town.
Or just people being like, hey, dude, we're playing in Vegas on this one Saturday and
Yeah,
whatever,
let's just go
fucking
check it
February.
out,
Let's
yeah.
go. Well, especially if you're from fucking Buffalo or something. You want to just.
Dude, I think the biggest turnout I've ever seen for a visiting team in any fucking professional sports arena was the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs showing up to
Yeah.
Vegas. I mean, it was a sea of blue hats and sweaters and shit. I'm like, holy shit. I thought we were going to get into a fight, but then I realized
Canadians.
hockey fans are pretty nice.
Yeah.
We actually have a video of a Padres Rockies fight right now. If you
Oh,
want me
boy,
to pull
yeah,
it up,
let's
it
see
just it happened yesterday.
Oh, yeah, please.
It's the UFC MLB crossover.
Yeah,
It can't be any
I'll
better
throw it
than
on
fucking Kyle
one.
Farnsworth spearing that dude and then fucking his shit up.
Oh,
Oh,
this
this
guy-
is in the stands. I see. I
This
thought you
guy
meant on the
already-
field.
This guy already looks angry.
Yeah,
It
he's
is now
done.
at third. Tommy Pham, who reached on an error, is at second.
Oh, yeah.
That's a KO.
Slapped him.
Oh, but he's going down now. Oh,
Oh, no, he holds his own.
Yeah, he just kind of takes all the Rocky.
You notice that body lock there at the end to protect himself.
Is at second.
Good aim.
Field
do-
fairly shallow.
I like hockey. There's something called a third man in rule. If two guys are fighting and a third guy shows up, he gets fucking hammered, suspended, ejected, the whole deal.
Yeah.
That's what baseball needs. Fuck all this time wasting, benches clearing bullshit. Two guys that I've hated this since I was a child, since the fucking playground, since youth sports. Two dudes start mouthing at each other and they want to fucking bump around and have people hold them back to demonstrate their power. It's like some weird India, Pakistan fucking dance they do every year to demonstrate their fucking prowess. Shut the fuck up, fight, get it over with so we can get back to playing this game.
Right.
You know what I mean? That way we don't have to worry about people getting hit later in the game and having to do this whole fucking dumbass benches clearing bullshit again. Let them fight. Third man in, you're gone. You're
Yeah.
ejected. You're suspended
Over.
for fucking 50 games. You're out. Solve this fucking problem right there for you. You're welcome, folks.
So there is one argument against Las Vegas that I keep seeing that I think is really stupid, and I think you'll enjoy it. The main outcry of people online and stuff like that is there's literally no fucking secondary market. Essentially, there's no other city close to Las Vegas where they can bleed off.
Fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
They've been doing it to the Raiders for years. And they're doing it right now. The LA football crowd is not watching the goddamn Chargers. They're watching the goddamn Vegas Raiders.
Right.
Motherfucker. Get out of here with that bullshit. Plus, their AAA team is in Sacramento, which is not very far away from Las Vegas. I mean, you can drive from Sacramento to Vegas in 7 hours, I think, something like that. And from LA to Vegas, it's like 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
Get fucked. What are you talking about? There's no secondary market.
That's what they keep screaming.
Yeah, well, that does. I mean, they should learn how to do fucking math.
I'm just saying, what would you think about Austin making a bid for it, or Austin, San Antonio, and some kind of in betwin Texas Rangers
San
situation?
Marcos or something.
Yeah. What would you think about a bid like that?
San Marcos being in Arlington between Austin and San Antonio would probably be pretty good. Yeah.
Well, first off,
I mean, Austin's got about 1 million people. San Antonio's got about 1.7, 1.8, something like that.
So Austin Metro, that includes San Marcos.
I'm just talking about the city.
Yeah, Austin's about 1 million on
Yeah,
just the city. Yeah,
yeah.
but the Metro's 2.2.
Yeah, the Metro's 2.2, and then the San Antonio Metro is like, well, not the San Antonio Metro, just San Antonio itself. I think is 1.8, something like that. It's like the 7th biggest city in the country. So
San Antonio is one of those cities where it's like a big city.
Yeah,
right?
it's a sprawl.
It's a big
yeah.
city
Yeah.
proper. What would you think about that type of situation?
I mean, I would love it, obviously, because I could drive 40 minutes
30
and
minutes,
watch a
you're right.
goddamn baseball game. That would be the best possible scenario for me, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think?
I mean, to be honest, if Elon Musk decided he liked baseball and wanted to buy a baseball team and bring it here,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he can get it done. You know what I mean?
I need
Because
to-
he's the kind of owner you want. If you're a fucking, whether you're
There is another guy in Texas who's wanted to own a baseball team for a while.
Matthew McConaughey,
No,
Jesus,
fucking Cubes.
Mark Cuban. Yeah, I don't like Mark Cuban. No,
You don't like Cubes?
I'm kidding. I love Mark Cuban. I don't like him for this.
Okay.
Because there's already a team up there, and I don't know if he would. I think he would be more apt to try to buy the Rangers than he would.
Well, he tried to buy the Cubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, if he can bring one down here, he obviously can't put it up there.
No.
Metro. But if he bought, I don't care who owns a team, and if it came down here, that'd be great for everybody.
And there's
Austin, this whole area are huge fucking sports fans.
When I talked about this to you the other day offline. Baseball is like the perfect Austin sport. What everyone likes to do here is sit out in the heat and just drink for hours on end. All you need is shaded bleachers, and you are in the top 15 in attendance every fucking year.
You don't even need that many shaded bleachers. You just need that for the white people.
Right.
Like the 40% of the crowd or so that's going to be Mexican, also huge baseball fans.
Well, so I don't like that theory because Miami's full of Cubans and they can only get 12 people to show up every game.
Miami has better things to do than fucking sit out in the fucking sun and watch a baseball
That's
game.
a terrible argument, Bob.
Plus,
All right, fair enough.
The Marlins have sucked for the most part. They were very fortunate last year, but for the most part, that's a shitty team. And to be honest, getting fans in the seats in any Southern Florida game other than college has been a problem for a while now.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, even the Dolphins, when they're
Yeah.
good, are kind of whatever.
Yeah, it's been since the fucking mid to late 80s since they've had any kind of good attendance down there.
Well, the Heat, I assume. But the NBA is not hard to sell out.
No, well, I mean, the Heat couldn't even keep their fucking fans in the stadium for the games. Like, they would leave earlier when they thought cause it's just like an LA kind of situation. LA people go because Dodger Stadium makes a fucking spectacle of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, fucking Jerry Seinfeld's here today, or someone, and all their fucking, the entire pregame broadcast inside the stadium is celebrities telling you not to walk up and down the aisles or just to obey the rules,
Yeah.
if you, whatever the fuck. So it's a big spectacle there. They're taking what LA is and turning it into a marketing apparatus for the team. Miami's never done that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just doesn't exist. So that fucking stadium should look like some of the newer. I mean, they have a new stadium there, but it should be like decked out with fucking swimming pools and all kinds of crazy shit. Make it a fucking palace.
Miami?
To Miami, yeah.
It is.
I know it's not as good as it should be.
They
though.
have swimming pools
They-
and a club.
They have a club. I like the club, but they haven't been able to use it yet, I guess. Now they're starting to use it. So maybe it'll get better there.
Okay.
But it's got to be an event. For people in Miami to come there and pay attention to those games, it's got to be an event.
Well, the thing is, actually, you don't really need them to pay attention to the games. You need to just show up and drink. And then
Yeah.
maybe cheer once when something happens randomly. But,
Right.
like,
I feel like a lot of people go to Dodger Stadium because they want to see which celebrities are there that day.
yeah, something like a Lakers game, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, oh, look, there's
Yeah,
Jack
it's very
Nicholson's
similar.
corpse.
But you don't have like have you been to like minor league baseball games around here?
Yeah, Round Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. People just sit around and drink tall boys, and
Yeah.
it's a great time. That's what I think is Austin's main appeal for baseball is people will be like, especially if you do it right, you can be like, people will be like, dude, I don't know, fuck Rainy Street today. Like, let's just go drop 30 on a ticket and get drunk at the game for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And,
Especially if they put some kind of like high-speed rail along that line from here to San Marcos to San Antonio.
Right.
Something like that would crush.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be great. And it would also fucking it would effectively turn Austin and San Antonio into what you have in the Bay Area, which is a very large metro area with, fucking 5 million people,
Right.
basically, which is
Which
huge
it's-
spending power.
it's going to become that anyway, one way or the other.
Yeah.
With the way just real estate prices and everything are going, like people are going to move south or north or whatever the fuck. And yeah, it's eventually going to combine.
But I like it. Look, Austin would be better for me than Vegas, obviously.
I think it's a better option, and here's the thing, there's no baseball loyalty here the way there is football loyalty. I understand why you wouldn't want to put an NFL team in San Antonio, right? Everyone's Cowboys fans, and you can't bleed off Houston any more than you already do from the Cowboys.
Right.
And there's no Jerry Jones in baseball. right? In Texas anyway. So there's no owner.
Well, if Mark Cuban or Elon Musk bought the team, there would certainly be a new Jerry Jones.
Yeah, which I'm all fucking about.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen a loudmouth baseball owner, except for Marge Schott, but she said some words she shouldn't have said, right, and had to get banned forever. Steinbrenner
and Turner.
Yeah, I mean, Ted Turner only like in the 80s, though. He kind of shut up after a while.
He did.
And Steinbrenner, he was more of a dick behind the scenes. He got more play because of Seinfeld than he did because of his own actions, I think. They just made Costanza work for him.
He was kind of a media darling in the mid to late 90s. Or media, not darling, but he was kind of like, people went to him for, he was like baseball Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
Like people were like, what's this guy saying?
Yeah.
Like, I need a quote from this guy.
Yeah, I mean, we need that. I like when Mark Cuban is at the games rooting for his team and getting excited when they win. Because my idea of a sports owner is some fucking dumb billionaire who bought it for vanity's sake. Like, I want to be a baseball owner.
Yeah.
So he bought it, and he doesn't pay any attention to the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because, yes, it is a business, but part of the business is branding, and you brand better when you win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why the Clippers had the best. They were the only team in the NBA in the green for years, and they sucked the whole time. But there was a price to pay for that, right? Like they never were able to build their own arena. They stayed in Staples Center, and they were second place in Staples Center forever.
Yeah.
That's why they ended up finally building this new arena they're building. But there was a price to pay for that shit. They never became a dominant team. And even when they do go out and spend a bunch of money, look at it now. I mean, did you think you would be seeing the season out of them with those elements on that team that you're seeing? Or would you have thought you would see the collapse in the playoffs last year from those guys? Because Kawhi Leonard's supposed to be a fucking Iceman, right?
He's so fucking overrated. It's insane.
He certainly is this year.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I don't know if he's overrated now. I think maybe it's catching up to him.
I think he has done his best work when he's had great, not hard-headed, but just great, really intelligent guards, right?
Yeah.
When did he have that? He had that in Toronto. He had that in San Antonio.
Yeah, I don't know why people thought. I mean, I guess it's a great defensive situation to have him and Paul George on the same team. But the way they both move and operate with and without the ball doesn't seem like a great fit on the court.
They don't. I mean? And who's their guard? Where's the guard on that team?
Patrick Beverley for a while, but he only plays defense.
And that's the thing. He's not good enough.
No.
You need the fucking Toronto guards, or you need fucking Tony Parker. Like the guards they have now.
And
not
Ginobili too. Yeah.
Ginobili and Parker. Yeah, it's just doesn't work. Anyway, I have some big exciting news. I'm going to skip this Ohtani stuff. Real quick, I'll just say Ohtani, first guy since Babe Ruth to lead the league in home runs while starting a game on the mound.
Yeah, 1919 was the last time that happened. So if you're wondering, it's been over 100 years.
Yeah.
And some Asian did it.
Yep. Pretty ironic.
We got to get him. Every time, if I was hitting against Ohtani, every time I hit a home run, I would yell, "This is for Pearl Harbor, you son of a bitch." And he would be like, "What are you talking about, dude?" I wasn't alive then.
It's not me.
Yeah, that wasn't me. Get the Angels out of LA.
Yeah, fuck. They're the Chargers.
Maybe move them here to Austin and move.
You fucking should.
Yeah,
you fucking should.
Get
them the fuck out of there.
Why share a TV market with, especially now, because now that the Padres look like they're going to be good for a long time, now you're not siphoning off any of their shit anymore either. You're only getting the fucking scraps from the LA market. Yeah. I guarantee you, hardcore Dodgers fans, I don't care how great Trout is, they're not tuning into fucking Angels games.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah. That TV contract's got to suck for them. They're way behind the 8 ball. You got to get the fuck out of there.
Not to mention the worst uniforms in baseball, maybe. I mean, they're close to it. They need to go back to
Not the worst of all time, though. We'll do a show one of these days about the worst baseball uniforms of all time. Actually, do you guys want to pull up the White Sox uniforms where they wore shorts?
I knew you were going to say that.
And then there's the Astros Starburst uniform back in the day.
Tequila Sunrise?
Yeah.
That's a great uniform.
No, Nolan Ryan and Mike Scott both said they hated that more than anything they ever wore in their careers.
I own one of those pullovers. You go to Minute Maid, those are everywhere.
Yeah,
those
I'm sure they are.
Those are fantastic.
It's so ugly. It's like drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. We made a shitty ass beer cool. Like, oh, this sucks really bad. Here, have some. I only drink beer that fucking sucks, man.
Fuck that.
What are you, some kind of pussy? PBR is disgusting.
PBR is disgusting. So is Lone Star, by the way. But those uniforms are great.
These uniforms are not great. Show me the
not the White Sox ones are dog shit.
Show me the White Sox one first.
White Sox ones are legitimately
Now
dog
this
shit.
looks like a goddamn beer league.
Yeah.
This looks like a softball beer league. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, it's hilarious to be honest. And you know that it was born out of some drug fucking bender that somebody went on over the weekend. Like, you know what we should do? We should go out in shorts, man. Fucking hot out here. Like, oh, we should go out in shorts. And he ripped a big fucking line of cocaine out the ground. No, don't do that.
This
That's
was during the disco fire era.
Yeah. Show me the fucking Astro Starburst uniform.
Those are sexy.
It's not.
I don't care what anyone
It's
says.
fucking horrible.
They're fucking hot. And
It'll probably be a picture of Nolan Ryan or Mike Scott, to be honest. Yeah, there's Nolan right there. No, not that guy.
you can show that guy because it's a good ass uniform.
It's not. This is horrible. It looks like a fucking.
That's a great uniform.
It looks like a candy wrapper.
No,
It's
that's
stupid.
a good. That's a good uniform.
Look at the guy's face. You can tell he doesn't like it.
It looks like something I would wear to a gay nightclub.
I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like the number on the pants. I'll give you that.
Nothing about any of this is good.
That's
The weathered orange hat. Orange should not be a part of any of this.
I love orange as a color. The current ass uniforms are great too. All right, anyway, those are whatever. Fuck it, I don't care. Those are great uniforms. You disagree? That's fine.
Well, Ivan Huerta agrees, but he's fucking Latinx over there, so he probably does like all the loud colors. Are you in Miami, Ivan Huerta? Son of a bitch.
He actually has drum music playing constantly in his
House music, yeah, just
flamenco.
constantly, yeah. Or it's fucking reggaeton.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have big news though. Baseball cards are back.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're back so much that people are so excited over them because they're collectibles that Target has stopped selling them due to safety concerns.
Safety? What, people are like robbing each other in the parking lot?
Literally, yeah. Target also stopped selling NFL, NBA, and Pokemon cards. It came after, so at 8 a.m. on Fridays, they'll like dump all the new cards out. And you can go, and collectors apparently just show up and buy as many of them as they can. Pokemon, baseball, football, everything.
Can't you just buy this shit on the internet?
You can
Like,
also.
why do you have to show up?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. But you can also do that.
Like Target delivers now.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
I don't know. You just get them first in the fucking store.
No, man.
Well, this
you
guy-
make it here. What you actually do to prevent all this violence is, in the first place, the traders should have been going and paying off the Target employees to only sell to them.
Yes, I agree with that. There should
Motherfucker.
have been corruption.
Yes.
And that's,
Corruption stops a lot of bullshit. That's why I'm corrupt as fuck all the time. Fuck you guys.
But yeah, so a guy in Brookfield, Wisconsin, showed up 8 a.m., bought as many as he could, walking out in the parking lot with a full ass box of fucking what were probably Magikarps and Kevin Gossman cards, and got jumped by 4 other guys who were like, "What the fuck? You bought all the cards," or something like that.
So they weren't there to rob. They were just mad that he was hoarding. I guess?
think it was a little bit of A, a little bit of B. They were like, let's rob him because he hoards.
Well, that's a target-rich environment, man. I mean, look, there's no better place to rob somebody than right outside an ATM, right? That's why fucking homeless dicks park themselves outside there all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's a joke in something. I got to get to this ATM before the homeless guy posts up for the night. It was The Office.
Was it?
Robert California said that shit.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, it's a good strategy, I guess. I mean, I don't know if not selling baseball cards is the problem. This is a fucking the true ignorance of modern society. We see symptoms, and then we correct stuff that doesn't need to be corrected, right?
So like you have a cold, but you only fix the runny nose.
Well, no, you have a cold, and instead you shoot yourself in the fucking foot with a shotgun. Like the whole thing with guns, you see 67% of all gun deaths are suicide, right?
Right.
And no one's willing to say that might be a mental health issue,
Right.
and not necessarily a piece of metal and plastic put together.
It's it's terrorists.
Oh
so.
yeah, sure. This is weird to me that they would just stop selling. But anyways, yeah,
Well,
baseball
it
cards
was
are back.
one of many. So there are a lot of like verbal instances in stores and like kind of like shoving altercations, and they were just like, oh fuck. By the way, the guy had a concealed carry. Speaking of guns, and was able to get his gun out and kind of be like, "Get the fuck away from me!" He didn't shoot anybody, didn't fire any shots, and the guys ran off and got arrested.
Yeah.
Apparently for like assault and strangulation, all this shit. Like
Is
they were-
strangulation a crime? Because I've been doing that a lot.
to yourself.
Well, to whomever will let me, really.
Yeah, as long as you got consent, it's perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
this guy was like, I don't consent. As they were strangling
That's
him.
what I say anytime anybody tries to talk to me in person anymore. I say, I do not consent to this conversation. fuck out.
Your words are violence.
Yeah, your words are violence against me.
That's actually how you should end every podcast. I no longer consent to this conversation.
Yeah,
just
actually,
get the fuck off.
maybe I should make. Do you guys like anti-social T-shirts? Because maybe I can make something like that. That's like, I don't consent to this conversation. Please don't talk to me.
I like that.
Those will sound like gangbusters.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the merch store is back. We had it turned off for a couple of days, about a week and a half, I think, so we could update some shit, add some new products. We added, there's hoodies on there now, there's sweaters, and all the designs that were on there before. We've also added a couple of new designs, including a no room for hate thing where you see protesters and cops butt fucking each other. And there's another one that's, God damn it, what is it? It's the Three Stooges thing with Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and fucking Nancy Pelosi, because they're just three of the fucking biggest goobers of all time.
That's a good uncle T-shirt.
Yeah, that's when your uncle shows up to at Thanksgiving and he's wearing this T-shirt, and you're like, oh boy, here we go. I don't even have to argue. He's going to do it all for me.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like.
Yeah.
I voted for Joe Biden. I might buy that for like all of my uncles who did not.
Yeah,
because they will enjoy that quite a bit.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, yeah, we're going to have that one out. I've also got a couple more new designs coming out here pretty soon. One of them is to memorialize Bob Baffert, who we all know now as the owner of, was it Medina Spirit? I think the horse's name was. So I just kept seeing these goddamn, every single day, it was like, horse fails drug tests. And I was like, I'm like, man, I just thought about myself and all the drug tests I've passed somehow. And it was like, you know, what would be funny is if that, because we were talking about, did you guys watch, I don't know if everybody watched the fucking pregame thing we did for the race. We did like a 30-minute show from the hotel before the Kentucky Derby.
Right. And
basically what we were talking about the whole time is getting these horses all souped up on one drug or another. And I came up with this idea called a cocaine carrot. And it's a carrot. It's covered in cocaine, right? You just feed it to the fucking horse. Gets all amped up. So now we've got this new shirt coming out. And it's newspaper clipping, basically. And there's a horse ripping off a line of cocaine on the front of it.
Oh, so you showed me that, yeah.
Yeah, so I think you guys are going to enjoy that.
That's a good one.
Just to address some of this shit in the chat here, yeah, we do need jorts to go along with some of this stuff, particularly the Gay for Straight shirt. Have jorts and then cut the sleeves off of that bitch and then show up at church.
That,
right?
Depending on the denomination, that's acceptable attire.
Well, I think, you know, regardless of the denomination in Texas, people are going to have a hard time saying anything about that, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to say anything negative about George Strait.
No.
Especially not in the house of the Lord.
Many churches are for George Strait,
yeah.
if we're being honest.
We need thigh highs. What the fuck are thigh highs?
I think that's cutoffs. I think that's the same thing as cutoffs.
They're extremely high cutoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought thigh highs were like fucking boots that sluts wore.
They are as well.
Because I like those, and I like sluts too, by the way. I would never use that word in a denigrating way.
Oh, no,
with honor.
We're pro-slut here.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I am certainly pro-slut. The fuck is that? Why would you not be pro-slut?
It doesn't, yeah.
Like, that's like somebody being anti-alcohol.
Well, it's more like being like, you know who I want to marry? A girl who doesn't like to fuck me.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, guys have made that mistake for a long time.
It's true. It's true.
So
most of the 1950s.
Yeah. Well, all the women were all hopped up on fucking methamphetamines back then.
Does it count if it's begrudging?
No.
Oh.
No,
where's the line between begrudging and non-consent? I mean,
when they come.
Asking for a friend. My wife, who is my best friend, I'm asking for her.
Because she doesn't want you near her right now.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
No,
well,
we did it once while she was pregnant, and she was like, never again. That was awful.
We'll see.
For me.
How far along is she now?
She's halfway.
Sometime around 7.5 months, hormones get wild. It can go one of two directions. One of the directions is wants to get fucked all the time. Mm-hmm. The other one is if you look at me, I'll fucking stab you.
Okay.
Right. So keep your head up for potential sex opportunities or knives.
Man, I don't know which one's more upsetting, to be honest.
Well, I mean,
apparently the baby's sitting pretty low. So like, how close is my dick going to be to its hand?
Not close at all.
Baby's upside down, man.
And your dick's not that big.
Well, touche.
I mean, you're more likely to hit a foot, right? Don't babies sit? They're not upside down in there, are they?
That comes out head first.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
So the baby's just upside down for no wonder they're fucking crying and acting like assholes.
Well, I think they're kind of sideways, and then they kind of shift in birth. They kind of get into it. I don't know. I'll ask my wife. Anyway, final thoughts. We don't need to actually go into this. Just quick thought, A-Rod buying the T-Wolves. He bought them, officially.
Anything that A-Rod does, I'm against, unless it's fucking getting off of this planet.
Yeah, I kind of think that is somehow the Timberwolves are going to be worse run now than they could have possibly already. This is the team that drafted Johnny Flynn over Steph Curry.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's a fucking piece of shit, but he's not dumb. Like, when you hear him talking about baseball, he knows fucking baseball really well.
About baseball.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's been a pretty smart businessman, too, so maybe he figures it out. I don't know. You never know when you're going into a situation like that where the real power is. Like, if you're an owner, right, and you don't know how to put together a team and your team sucks, right, that power is with the team at that point. When I say team, I mean the front office of the team.
I will say he seems to value analytics quite a bit.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Thanks for the fucking armrest, by the way. It was really nice, you guys. I think it was Craig Dulesky and who else? Somebody fucking texted me and sent me this shit.
It's very on brand for Craigers.
It's yeah, absolutely. It was let me look it up. Keep talking. I'm gonna look this up.
What else do I have to
get
say?
some credit.
I don't fucking know. I just actually closed that doc. But yeah, I really hope. I just want to go back to this because it just drives me insane forever. I would like base runners to run the base right again. Just run through the fucking base, for the love of fucking God. The only thing I have to say is, this baseball card shit.
Alex Cheechov, he sends us beer all the time. So it's him and Craig, I think.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. By the way, I was gonna say, do you think the baseball shit is just like the baseball card shit's just like the third fold of the whole NFT crypto thing? Like, people are buying. They're not buying stocks. They're just buying other shit they think's going to appreciate that isn't a house or a stock.
Yeah, we talked about it last night with, was that yesterday with that?
With those guys, yeah, with the professors.
Yeah, those two dicks. I don't remember what their names are, but they were. I mean, the one guy seemed way too happy and hopeful about things.
Yeah.
And the other guy seemed just like a fucking. He seemed like a boomer. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But he
can't hold it. You can't hold it.
Yeah, he did say that. I mean, he understood the phrase Giorgio used about being internet native and stuff like that, and or digitally native, whatever you want to call it. And so he knows what it is. I just think he can't conceptualize it. But yeah, baseball cards were always weird to me. There's no way to control the market, so you can't really control you can't control the value of stuff, really.
Right.
Unless you can control the supply or the demand or one of those things, but you can't.
Or unless you buy a rookie card on someone you're like, I think he's going to be big.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird market, and it pops up every now and again, but just like everything pops up. People act like this fucking AMC and Dogecoin shit is new because of Reddit. No, motherfuckers, they were like baseball card wars back in the day.
Right.
For this useless piece of paper with a picture of somebody else on it. You know what I mean? It wasn't a fucking masterpiece. It was a goddamn, anybody literally could make. You go to Kinko's and make a baseball card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's only worth something because it's either misprinted rare or something like that, or people say it is. It's absolute nonsense, right? So anything you spend on that is a gamble. Putting money in the stock market technically is a gamble, but it is a very educated gamble to make in a lot of cases.
Right.
And coming from someone who is an avid baseball, football card collector as a youth who has complete sets of tons of years, they are worth nothing now. The only thing that's worth money is original packaging. If the cards are still in the packaging in sealed boxes,
or misprints of rare cards and things like that.
When the machine or the press comes down or there's duplicates of things, the market really fell out on that.
Yeah, there was a Jose Canseco card, right, where it was reversed. The image was reversed instead of like.
Because there's only certain small batches of those, and they're just worth so much more to collect.
But again, the reason they're worth something is because there was a market in the first place, and then we're like, this is a rare in the market that makes it more valuable. But the market itself is fucking.
And
dumb.
I mean, having a tangible good of your favorite athlete or favorite sports person at that point in time was really fucking cool. Like, I loved opening packs and like looking for the rare Sosas or looking for whoever was on a heater at that point.
It was interesting, but it was that. Then it was fucking Beanie Babies, and then it was fucking Pokemon cards. And
Well, Pokemon cards are one of the things they won't sell anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
So, but it's always been something. It's
they
just mapped onto the digital world now, and all these
Right.
fucking boomers like what's that Scott, whatever the fuck his name is that was on this show. What is that turd's
Galloway.
name? Galloway. Yeah, the guy's a fucking he's a goober.
He's my mentor.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, can't imagine what you'd be learning from, but yeah. People like that, they're like, oh, this is just fucking millennials and Gen Z and they're stupid and whatever. It's like, dude, this shit's been going on for fucking decades.
Right.
Give me a fucking break.
I don't know.
We're just doing it on a different medium now. It's the same goddamn thing that's been happening for years. People, it's just get rich quick bullshit is all it is.
Okay, Ruben in the chat, go ahead and told me I was wrong. He has two 50K, what was that, Tom Brady rookie cards? Yeah, that's because you have an autographed rookie card. You took the man's first card.
You have an autographed
and
rookie
then you
of
went and got it signed.
of the best football player of all time.
Oh.
Who's now?
Is that worth money? Weird.
But it is interesting to see. I mean, I guess from a market standpoint, we really somebody should be doing data research on over the last 20 years, especially as the market has evolved. What kind of things became popular and what made them become popular. Now, Reddit was obvious. And now the market can see Reddit coming, so it can prepare for Reddit. So it's risk spreading or mitigation, whatever you want to call it, right?
Well, it's now would be, I guess, be getting into the right Discords.
Right, Discord. So, but just from a focused digital audience now, the market can see that coming a little bit at least. Certainly more than it could a year ago. So now what's the next thing going to be? There will be a next thing. Something will get fucking cool, and people will think, oh, that's rare. I better get it because it's going to be worth something someday, and blah blah blah, right? And it'll be something else.
And then I will rob them of it in a Target parking lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Instead of investing in Dogecoin, I'm going to invest in baseball bats and just hang outside of fucking Targets and beat the Christ out of people.
I think the market's down on those. You can get those pretty cheap right now.
Oh, I can make one in my house.
No, lumber's up. Lumber's up, baby.
Yeah, lumber's up, but I'll just pull the fucking one of the metal table leg off the table over there.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, we'll just start just cring, just fucking whacking people, man. Right in the fucking look. You're gonna need one of the bigger SUVs, probably Tahoe, something like that, with a lot of storage. But you don't want to fucking have you don't want to have a truck or a flatbed or anything because people could see into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you want the Tahoe with the tinted windows. You want a good metal pipe, probably. Everybody's wearing a mask now, so you can get away with that.
Yep.
And have fun, man. Shit. I mean, life's about fun. It's about having fun.
I agree with that. That's why we talk about baseball.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's it for our baseball conversation today.
Well.
For now.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for watching and listening and everything. Subscribe, like on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Drinking Bros Sports, the sports feed. Check that out. It's a different feed that is growing fast, both on the charts and on subscriber lists. But please share it with your friends and like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next